Hi, Dr. Ken HD, Story Merchant here with another in our ongoing series about managing the Type C personality. What's going on inside of that creative writing mind of yours, and how can we use it to make you happier and more productive? Today, we're going to talk about those islands I refer to, the islands of consciousness. They are the parts of your mind separate from the continent of reason that are idiosyncratic and kind of crazy and outside of time and are particular only to you. And they're free floating and interchangeable and changeable. The temperature is different on every one of them. As the day wears on, from the strongest islands, uh, you start hearing ideas being announced to that part of your mind that I call the managing editor, that's aware of the continent versus the islands. At this point, as ideas begin to announce themselves, the managing editor should be listening politely and then telling them to go back where they came from. Why? Because only the best ideas that you won't forget are worth your attention. Spending time writing down wrong ideas that can't even remember themselves the next day is a waste of time. The programming of the island has now turned into creative pressure when you tell it to go home. Elation is the feeling you have when that pressure produces results. The island shows up again next day and says, listen, I want you to hear this. This is the perfect story. Here's how it opens, and here's the ending. And in the middle, you do, and you say, sorry, go home. Come back to me when you've got the whole thing figured out. One natural result of this denial on the part of the managing editor is to sort the stronger islands out from the weaker ones. When the islands start shouting, if you write down their first suggestions, you have a wide selection of, at worst, nonsensical gibberish, and at best, you'll have relatively weak suggestions until you've ignored it enough that it comes back to you much wholer and together and ready to go. Initially denying the islands, you end up uh, have, having everything you need for that story, and you haven't even sat down yet. You haven't even started writing. You'll never have writer's block because you won't be sitting down to write without knowing what you're going to write. So all those shouts are just parts of your mind testing you to see how serious you are about your desire to be disciplined and to get the most out of that brain of yours. By the time you begin writing the next morning, only the strongest suggestions from the islands will have made it through the night. And when you sit down to write, you'll be ready to go with stuff that's worth writing about. Listen, if you enjoyed this, I would love to hear from you and hear your questions. And if you're interested in our one-on-one coaching about managing your creative mind and your career, you can sign up at the bio in the link. In the meantime, have a good day, get working, and see you soon.